Hello, and welcome to the For Your Ears Only podcast. Today, we continue with our mini-series called License to Remake, where we look at the classic Bond films and discuss what they would look like, in our opinion, if they were made nowadays in 2023. In the last episode, we looked at On Her Majesty's Secret Service, and in this episode, we look at You Only Live Twice. Now, the perceptive Bond fans, or if you have a brain, will notice that that's the wrong order. However, we're reversing the order itself. As we discussed in the last episode, the original movies don't really make sense because in the second film, it's like Bond has never met Blofeld when they tried to kill each other in the previous one. So we're reversing that, changing a bit of the plot so it makes sense for modern audiences. So, You Only Live Twice, still set in, let's just call it the end of the 1960s, set in 2023. We're going to go ahead with our cast, our song, and our plot changes. So, Jack, I ask of you, your James Bond, I would assume, is still Henry Cavill.
Still going to be Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill. My James Bond is still Henry Cavill as well. That's from the last episode. Is the only time I'm
For me, he's been Henry Cavill for the last decade, which I think is fine.
And that'll continue. So, as you might know from previous episodes, we have recurring characters. Obviously, we've got like M, Moneypenny, Q, such and such with that. We're not changing those characters. We do also have a recurring character in the form of Blofeld from the last episode. I'm assuming we're still having the same Blofeld.
Same guy.
So my Blofeld is Mark Strong.
And I'm going for Arnold Vosloo.
You're going to go for Arnold Vosloo. I am for that. You also had Mark Strong as well.
Yes.
With that, but yes, scary, angry, bald men.
Yeah.
That's all we need. So everyone else in the movie is new characters to the plot. The last one, we started on the plot first of all to explain why we were reversing the movies. Do you want to start on the plot again for this one? Just to, if there's any plot changes you have.
Yeah, well, this is an easy one to cut and change because sensitivities have changed so radically since the 60s.
What?
I'm going to remove the scene where James Bond becomes Japanese.
Why?
Through like plastic surgery.
Yep.
So we're not going to change his race, but we are going to keep the idea that he has to infiltrate the base, but just don't change his ethnicity.
It's not necessary.
It's not really
necessary, no.
No, and he doesn't really need to get married to a Japanese person to infiltrate the base, but I've kept that in because I've cast somebody in the role.
Yeah, he could pretend to be married.
Yes, he doesn't actually need to get married.
No, it's not like you don't actually. It's called acting, Gary. Ironically, I'm referencing an even more racist film. Gary. Yeah, you don't need to marry someone and become Japanese. If someone asks you, I will marry it.
Yeah. It's not like Blofeld's asking for your papers to come onto his island.
The Gestapo. Yes, I'm not telling the spy organisation how to run things, but just pretend.
Yeah, you can make up fake documents like they do in Casino Royale. They're not actually married, but they say they're Mr. and Mrs. whatever it was.
Yeah.
That could be a question on that episode.
That could be there. But yeah, so
I removed that. I also removed the kind of over-the-top magnet scene where they removed the car with the magnet. I thought that was a bit silly. Maybe they can just like secretly dispose of somebody or
something
get away.
A bit more clandestine.
Yeah, inconspicuous. But as I said that statement, I realised that they are using rockets to eat other rockets to bring them back to Earth. So maybe the whole plot's a bit
I've not even changed that bit. Like, I've still said that Blofeld's plan is in Japan. He's managed to get his land, and in that land he has built a lair and all the wealth and natural resources. And his plan is still to seal.
That's a previous estimate.
Is to steal the US and USSR space equipment Or rockets, just to steal it so that he can develop technology to control that equipment.
Okay. Can I ask,
Yes.
how in your film, how does he get away in the last film? Because surely if you realise...
Toboggan.
So how does he successfully get all the wealth and the titles and escape
The natural resources in the land.
of Japan?
Yes.
So he's...
Now your next question might be, what natural resources does Japan have? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how he got the wealth. I don't know.
I'm just wondering, does he succeed in getting his hereditary title even though he's like a wanted criminal?
Why is he a wanted criminal?
Because he tried to destroy agriculture economy.
Not in my movie.
Sleeper agents.
I said they could be sleeper agents, but
Okay, we'll gloss over your massive plot hole.
I spent 5 minutes in this, Jack. If you want to look at writers, look at the end of Game of Thrones. They had months, years.
I would say, what else have I changed? Right, so I'm going to keep the whole stealing the rockets. I can't even remember why he stole the rockets. But the whole mountain layer thing, because it's so iconic. And
Yeah, it never actually explains in the film why he's stealing those rockets.
Was it extortion again or something?
No, he was trying to cause problems.
Cause World War
Friction,
III?
that was it, yes. And then he would hide in his lair.
Was he not working for like the Chinese or something? He wanted to do it on behalf of... I can't remember. But I said that maybe Blofeld, like in the books, would actually get killed in this one.
Okay.
And Diamonds Are Forever would have a different antagonist altogether.
Okay. They can't die. Ever.
Because in the book, James Bond strangles them to death, exactly like No Time to Die, basically. Like
is that when he goes, die?
Yeah, he does actually do that.
Well, that's a bit grim. And my movie's also for kids, so I won't be having that.
Right, so he might die, but that's really it.
Okay.
And maybe they'd have a bigger fight scene than like just hanging out what would you call it, a monorail, almost getting shot, and that's
Imagine
it.
they had a fight on the side of the rocket.
Well, in space. Imagine James Bond actually went into the rocket.
That'd be mad if they were like in space, so it's just fighting each other, floating about, and like, oh, get it made. But it's Christopher Nolan directing it, so they're actually in space.
Yes, they've actually made it to the moon again.
Okay, so wild changes to the plot.
Wild changes.
Removing of any racism.
Remove racism.
Removing anything which is slightly over the top.
And killing Blofeld.
Yes.
Is what I would change.
Okay. So, why don't we'll work through... In fact, I don't really have any massive name... Oh, that's a lie. Kind of medium names for the cast and that. So why don't we start with Aki? So Aki was the assistant who will die essentially midway through, who's assassinated. So who did you have for Aki?
She's like Taiga's agent. She's the agent with the GT2000.
Yes.
Okay, so I had Karen Fukuhara.
Who is that?
Who is in Suicide Squad.
Oh, right, she plays the one with the sword.
Yes. That's a picture of her. That makes...
I always thought that was Mantis. No, that's Palm Clementif.
I'm trying to think of what else she was in.
Do you know what she was in The Boys?
Yeah, she was in The Boys.
That's what
she was in The Boys.
That's why I thought she was Palm Clementif. Because I thought...
Why, is she in The Boys?
No, it's definitely her, but I just thought that was the same person.
Katana, she is in
Katana, that's it. I'd kind of stuck with the superhero thing. I went for Gemma Chan, who was in Eternals.
Yes, I know exactly. If she was 20 years younger, that'd be so much better for me.
How old is she?
She's 40.
Is she? She's 40? No, she's no.
Yes, she is.
Right.
I have her for a different role in this film.
In this film?
Yeah.
Kissy?
No, it's I've obviously changed the race of Karen Dorr, who plays Helga Brandt, the one that gets eaten by piranhas.
Yes. Who do you have for Helga Brandt?
Gemma Chan.
Oh, you have Gemma Chan for Helga
that
Brandt?
because it makes sense that she's in Japan as an evil Spectre agent in Japan. She would be East Asian.
I didn't even think of that. For Helga Brandt, actually, just whilst we're on the topic with that, I don't really know why, I just went for Mila Jovovich from the Resident Evil movies.
Okay.
I just thought that, again, she's a villain. I think she was a villain in parts. Multipass. I don't know. That was the first name.
Resident Evil. But yeah, I thought Gemma Chan.
Surely you've seen the trailers for Resident Evil, or like the posters for Resident Evil, or have you seen the fifth element or the sixth element? I think it's the fifth element. I don't know. Anyway,
I thought Gemma Chan would be good for that role because she's slightly older, more experienced, I guess you could say.
Well, speaking for older and experience, who did you have for Kissy?
Kissy is the wife.
Yes.
Who has like very little to say. I think in real life.
Mostly near the end is where everything comes into.
I think it's because she actually didn't speak any English in real life.
No one spoke English in the James Bond sets.
Yeah, they were just dubbed. So I had somebody, a blast from the past for us 90s noughties kids, is Brenda Song.
That sounds familiar.
Yes. Because it's a small role for her and she hasn't been in much since then, but she was the one in The Rich Kid in Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
Has she not been in anything else?
I don't think so.
She was, it was Tipton. The last name is Tipton.
Mm-hmm.
And her...
Because she owned the hotel.
Yeah.
She was like a Paris Hilton knockoff.
Yeah, her first name was... I can't remember her first name, actually.
But from looking at her IMDb, she really hasn't been in much, and I think this little role would be a nice, I remember her.
Well, I went for the opposite. I went for an actress which is quite older, called Ming-Na Wen. And Ming-Na Wen is in The Mandalorian, but I've never watched, so I don't know anything about that. But she did do the voice of Milan, and she was also in 2.5 Men, which is where I know her from. But I can't go to
Why did you choose an older actress to be James Bond's wife?
I thought that made more sense. But then, now that I think
how
about
old
it,
is she?
not really. Older than Gemma Chan.
But she'd be older than Henry Cavill then.
Maybe, but now I'm thinking about it, like, if they were married, then it would be someone younger. But then, in my movie, they pretend to get married.
Yes.
So,
and it's okay to get married to older women.
I don't think that the spies and the guards on the island will pay that much attention to the age gap. I don't think it matters. But then,
wait a minute,
I feel as though it would make more sense for the role at the end of fighting, because she appears to jump into like a volcano in like a bikini and start battering guys with guns. And I'm like, where did this skill set come from? Why? Surely the person that James Bond's getting married to is actually a professional and is used to combat. And maybe she is also in the intelligence services and she also knows how to act like being a wife. That's where I was going with that.
Right, okay, I get it.
I dug myself out of that one, didn't I?
You did.
Here's the reasoning for it.
I don't know. I put Brenda Song because she hasn't really done anything. The girl needs a break. Come back. So I've kept my Blofeld as Mark. You've kept it as Mark Strong and Arnold Vosloo. I think that's how you pronounce it.
What about? So we'll get the.
Oh right. So we talked about the agent who gets eaten by the
Helga.
Yes, piranhas. So the older guy that she's with, who's also an agent, a Spectre agent,
Mr. Osato,
which is Mr. Yes, Osato. I have got like a sort of legend. I've got Jet Li.
I was thinking Jet Li, but Jet Li's really old now.
Yes.
Really old.
No, I don't think so. I think he's 60.
No, he looks like an old man.
Yes, but so does the role that he plays as an older business chairman.
Okay. But I'd not waste Jet Li. I'd want Jet Li to like do backflips and kick people in the head.
But I thought that would be another sort of... it's basically a cameo role. Not much happens in it. And that's kind of all the rage nowadays. to have like old guys come back for like a scene.
I suppose Jet Li's in the Expendables. Very
There's
small,
new
man.
Expendables coming out.
Thank God, I love the Expendables films. I do actually really enjoy them. They're just nonsense, but it's just essentially like Sylvester Stallone going, yeah, it's great.
It's great.
For Mr. Osato, I've put, I'm going to really ruin this name, Hiroyuki Sanada, who was in Sunshine. It's the first time I've ever seen him. He was also in the Wolverine movie, and he was also in Bullet Train.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's the
big actor's name. Very recognisable, actually. And I thought he'd be good because, well, just dyes hair grey and he looks like an older man.
Yeah, so he the father in Bullet Train, like that, the gangster leader guy.
He's the gangster guy.
Cool.
So yeah, I thought he's a big name, and I actually also went with a big name in terms of Tiger as well. Now Tiger is kind of like an older guy.
He's like, he has to be like a sort of kind of thing.
So for that reason, I went with Chin Han, who everyone knows as from The Dark Knight.
All right, yeah,
also
the accountant.
The Blacklist as well, which is where I know him from. But yeah, I went with him because he.
How old is he now?
I don't know. He's definitely not older than the actual Tiger. And
yeah, that's good. That's good actually. I think that would work well. I only know him from The Dark Knight.
Again, I think it's just a big name.
Mm-hmm.
Like a very well known name, and that'd be good. Did you have anyone?
The Dark
Tiger?
Knight was 15 years ago, so he probably has a good age to be a sort of an M ahead of Secret Service.
Yeah.
I did have two. I kind of kept thinking of Henry Cavill being in his late 30s, so I was like, oh, should I get a tiger who's in his late 30s and they can like bat off each other?
Did you cast an actual tiger?
Don't know if you get 30-year-old tigers.
Sigmund and Roy.
The Simpsons. So if I was going down that route, I would have went with John Cho.
Okay.
But then I realised, he needs to have the world experience to make him the head of a secret service, so he has to be a bit older. So I went for Donnie Yen.
Who's Donnie Yen?
Who plays the blind guy in Rogue One.
It's been a while since I've seen Rogue One.
Blind kind of like
Donnie
Jedi
Yen.
guy.
The name does sound actually quite familiar.
He was in
John Wick. That's what I've seen him from. Oh, was he Ip Man? It was. Yeah, that's quite good because I think he is actually a pretty perfect age for that. Actually,
Wait a minute, is he in Office right now? Just looking at his
Office.
Yeah,
What's Office?
Office as in political office.
All right, I thought you meant like, is he in the office? And I'm like, I don't know.
He's got some political role in China now.
The only role I thought of in this movie was Henderson.
Yes.
And I wanted Henderson to have quite a big role. I wanted it to be a wee 5 minutes of like, oh, here's a big guy who's... Who do you have?
I didn't have anybody, but I want to hear you first. I'm going to tell you who I've thought of off the top of my head.
I put Michael Fassbender.
Oh, that would have been good.
I just want just like an old... Just Irish, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just old who's just been there for years
Mm-hmm.
and has just kind of immersed himself and got quite comfortable with that, and I thought that would be interesting.
You know what? That would have been that name popped up for me thinking of Blofeld. Actually, I thought
Michael Fassbender.
he would have been a good Blofeld. Like
Magneto.
Steal the Iron. Because Henderson is played by a guy who then also plays Blofeld, which is silly. I thought it would have been funny to bring somebody into the role who's already been in a James Bond film as a sort of nod to that, but I can't because of the caveats.
You lose.
Yeah, the caveats prevent me, but I would have chosen somebody like Daniel Craig in that role.
Okay.
Because it'd be
you bring Daniel Craig in with like a southern accent.
Yes, because it'd be funny. A nod to it. They did that.
Yeah,
double casting thing in the 60s.
That time. Who do you have anyone else in the cast? 'Cause
No, I think that's it.
Okay, so the final thing we have is the song. So obviously the song "You Only Live Twice"
by Nancy Sinatra.
Big Nancy. And I only picked one person. There's only one person I could think of that could sing this, and it wasn't Robbie Williams. I put Hosier.
Another gender swap.
I'm not entirely sure why, but just...
Is it because he's got an album coming out and you're promoting them?
By now. No, I don't really know why. Just the last time I listened to a Hosier song was...
Take Me to Church?
No, it was another one that was like... Something was Mary Cries Power. Like that was like 2 years ago. It's been a while since I've listened to Hosier. But for some reason, I've just like... His voice would actually... That big, not church-like voice, but that like... belting kind of thing, I think would work quite well.
That's quite good,
soft as well. Who did you have?
I had Dua Lipa for this.
Oh, that would actually be very good. Yeah, I think that would be pretty spot on because you could keep the actual song the exact same, and it's just her voice.
And her voice, she did a small, like 2-minute cover of Etta James' "I'd Rather Go Blind," like really bluesy song. And I was like, okay, it made me think, oh, she's not just like a pop singer, she can actually sing. So this would be another kind of challenge that way.
That's pretty good.
I think she would be good in that.
That was a good one. A strong movie. A 1 and a 2 part. A prequel and sequel.
Yeah.
Kind of. Maybe we'll...
I think I would keep it as a sequel. I wouldn't do it as a I wouldn't do the On Her Majesty's and then this. Oh no, wait, I wouldn't do it the normal way.
You would do it the normal way?
I would have On Her Majesty's Secret Service first, and then this is a direct sequel.
Yes. Yeah.
Is what I meant, sorry.
Aye. So what we've done.
And then, because I said I might kill, I don't know, I'm in two minds. Should I kill Blofeld because then he can't come back, basically, or do I leave it vague and then he might come back?
Kill him. Make it like he might be dead. Like the end of Inception. Oh, is he dead?
Yeah, maybe actually.
You'll have to go back in the writing room, come up with that. But we'll find an answer, maybe on the next episode, because you have to do something with them.
I know.
In Diamonds Are Forever. Diamonds Are Forever is cancelled because it is a terrible film.
No, it's not. It's not even the last film on our ranking.
I know. But yes, thank you very much for joining us on this episode. We hope you have enjoyed those rankings and maybe agree with them. Mostly disagree, probably. But yeah, let us know your thoughts and let us know what your casting would be like, who you would cast, any plot changes, and who would sing the song for You Only Live Twice, still set in the 1960s, but made in 2023. The next time, as we just discussed there, we'll be going on to Diamonds Are Forever. Set in this is 70s now, isn't it?
Yeah, we're now in the 70s.
Set in the start of 1971, I believe.
Get your flares out.
Still set in 2020. Yes, there'll be a lot of changes, maybe a lot of plot changes for that one, but we'll get on to that in the next episode.
Have to tune in.
And as always, please like and subscribe and share this with all your friends, and be sure to check out our other episodes where we review each film in sequence. So, thank you much for joining us.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.